Using OnTask is intuitive and straightforward. We'll walk you through running your first session and explain how to use OnTask to its full potential. To begin, click Observe. Since we haven't run any sessions yet, we'll create a new student. In the future, you can load an already created student by selecting Load Student instead. Creating a student is easy. Simply enter in the student's name and his or her teacher's name, and click Done. Now you have the option to begin a session immediately or have OnTask remind you at a later date. We'll go ahead and run this session now. We're almost ready to go. Enter in the subject and change any of the default settings if you'd like to. Keep in mind that if you prefer to use different default settings, you can always change them by selecting options on the main menu. Once you're ready, click Begin. The screen will flash white when it's ready for an observation. The buttons will gently pulse for 5 seconds, letting you know that you can make an observation during this time window. If you are electing to observe a peer as well, halfway through the time interval, the screen will flash again, and the bottom set of buttons will pulse, letting you know it's time for an observation. Knowing whether the student was on task or off task is only part of the story. It's important to make your data as specific as possible. OnTask enables this with our tagging feature. In the top of the observation screen, you will see 3 colored tags. Select a relevant tag to help specify what kind of learning environment the student is in. This tag will stick until you've selected a new tag. There's no need to select the tag again before every observation. The tag names and colors are easily customizable from the options on the main menu. Another important bit of metadata that OnTask provides is teacher redirects. If the student is redirected, simply click the button on the top right. During an observation, you can easily access the setup menu by tapping the menu icon at the bottom. From here, it's easy to pause the session or end it before the scheduled session length time has expired. Let's go ahead and end this session. Now let's look at the data. You can examine the data from this session or swipe across the screen to see older sessions. Tap the chart icon to view the information in a couple different ways. The pie chart is a great way to quickly visualize what area the student was most on task in. Here we can see that John was great in independent practice. While his attention tended to drift in direct instruction, simply tap the screen to return. The timeline view is a technology exclusive to OnTask, and it is powerful. The timeline shows you how the student progresses from the beginning of the session to the end and helps you visualize the teacher redirects. Here we can see that John was on task for the beginning of the session, but when we switched to independent practice, John's attention faltered, and we weren't able to get it back despite several teacher redirects. When you're finished, tap the screen to return. OnTask makes it easy to share your data with colleagues. Simply tap the share button and it will draft an email for you, attaching the pie charts and timeline in addition to the raw data. That's OnTask. If you have any further questions or concerns, please feel free to email us at support@ontaskapp.com.